district to compete and let the spectators be positive. Tonight we'll welcome the Ocean Zebras from Brunswick High School. Now a message from the NJSIAA.
Today's contest is being conducted according to the rules of the New Jersey State High School Athletic Association. These rules provide for fair competition among players. Spectators can help promote good sportsmanship by observing the rules of fair play. Any verbal, written, or physical conduct related to race, gender, ethnicity, disability, sexual orientation, or religion shall not be tolerated, could subject the violator to ejection, and may result in penalties being assessed against your team. Each one is requested to take personal responsibility for keeping this competition at a high level of good sportsmanship.
Tonight is senior night, but before we honor our seniors, would you please stand for the playing of our national anthem? Tonight we're going to honor our cheerleaders first.
I experienced it with
Our first senior is Fiona Trubetsky, along with her mother Sharon, and brother Landon. Next is Mary Gross with Kathy Gross.
you
with Sue Warman, Fred Gross, and Brother Sam. Next is Zoe Kaplan with Marjorie Kaplan. And we have Madeline Shorter with Ray Lynn. So a round of applause for our senior cheerleaders. And now our senior basketball players. First is Matt Stone with Lauren Metuchen. Next up is Johnny Guerrero with Spencer and Marissa. Next, Benjamin Galeota with Tim and Jay.
That's a perfect start.
Next, Sahil Gujarati with Becca and Amy. Next senior, Pakistani with Brother Will. Next is Marcus Malamu.
What about the senior cheerleaders?
This is like kissing. That's not That's not against cheerleaders. Why did they do that? Why did they do that?
He wants to
And now the starters for East Brunswick, coached by Antoine Allen. The senior number 24, Victor Adiari. Sophomore, number 4, Christopher Bronco. Senior, number 33, Christopher Diego. Junior, number 1, Jaylene Soriano. And junior, number 10, Amir Thompson.
Live from the Bulldog Report, it's MHS basketball, MHS Senior Night basketball here from the Metuchen High School. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Ike Bush alongside Jared Popek, bringing you all the action for tonight here on the Bulldog Report. Senior night for the Bulldogs, as you see. John Udrere, not a regular starter, but he's out there taking the tip for the Dogs. Should be a fun one here with the fans on their side here in a Friday night, late February, mid-February, as the Dogs looking to continue what's been a good season, looking to get their 10th win, right now sitting at 9-16, taking on the New Brunswick Zebras with a 4-21 record. So on paper, this looks like an easy matchup, but they're playing against a GMC White Division team in New Brunswick.
Yeah, certainly, and we got a packed gym here today. Should be a fun one. We got a bunch of seniors, all 5 seniors playing here, and of course Max Cohn and Marcus Malamud coming off the bench, but of course this day is for them, so let's get out a win.
We'll see if they can pull it out. Starting lineup for the Dogs: John Udrere, Nicky Van Leeuwen, the ball handler, Sahil Gudrafi, Thomas Cassani, and Ben Galeota. Van Leeuwen with it. He puts it up, still looking for his first points that aren't three-pointers this year, believe it or not. All of his points have come from three. As you see Cassani get the first batch of points for the Dogs. A jumper, and T. Drizzy's got the points, and the Bulldogs on the board. 2-0 Metuchen Bulldogs after the J by Cassani. They'll be on the defensive side for the first time today. Out of bounds, it's going to be, I think, possession arrow pointed in New Brunswick's way. A little disturbance there from number 4, Van Leeuwen. New Brunswick with it. Turning, shooting. This one no good. It's pointed the other way as there's a foul on New Brunswick. Jared, we were here a little bit early. We got to watch the JV game between Metuchen and New Brunswick. Final score, 72-23. Dogs destroyed.
Yeah, certainly. And, of course, JV team emulating the varsity team here. Hopefully the varsity team can continue on what the JV team did earlier. And this should be a fun one here against New Brunswick.
It's starting off a fun one as Cassani's, I was going to say he was going to have his second basket of the night, but he couldn't finish it off, not quite under the hoop, and it's still 2-0 Dogs. You want to try to get your points when you can, but this is a high-pressure game, maybe the last game at home ever played by some of these players, and just want to pull out the win, and obviously pressure comes with that. Don't deny the talent, though, that Metuchen has. Galeota with a nice breakup, as it's going to be New Brunswick who recovers it. Little bouncer over to Thompson. Now a shot goes up. He's fouled on the way. That's Victor Adieri.
And I just want to point out with Victor Adieri actually on the line right now, he is 4 for 56 on free throws this year. 7%. So interesting to see if he makes these two, but take your points when you can.
Adieri splashes the first. One away from tying this up. Just over 2 minutes into the game, still low scoring. Chance to make this a 2-2 game if he hits the second. Adieri from the line. 1 for 2 he goes. And it's Dogs ball. Van Leeuwen, he's got handles. We've talked about this before. Not easy to take the ball from. Here's a shot from Gudrafi. Oh, almost had it, but a little shy of the net. It hit off the rim. Now coming to the basket. Up goes Adieri. Was he fouled? They say he was. That's the second time Metuchen has fouled Adieri in less than 30 seconds. And he'll be sent to the line for his third and fourth attempts from the stripe. From the stripe, no pun intended, with the Zebras. New Brunswick Zebras.
Yeah.
That's not a very common mascot. I feel like it's very interesting that they're the Zebras. I don't think I've heard of them Zebras before in sports. But
yeah, normally high school teams, not Zebras. Normally Bulldogs, Eagles, Falcons.
There's like 5 options. Vikings, you know.
Yeah.
You know how it goes. He makes the second shot. So their first lead of the night goes for Adieri. He has all 3 points, and New Brunswick on top as of now. Bulldogs want to get some points back, obviously without all their starters right now. So a full, fresh lineup from 3. Gudrafi, he got it. And the fans erupt, and the Bulldogs back on front. Gudrafi, it's unbelievable what he's done. Coming off the bench, he's been the 6th man. I know we talk about him a lot, but really underrated talent with Sahil. And he hits that 3 once again. Gudrafi, been reliable outside the arc, and that's what it comes down to.
And Coach Cardillo has actually used him very well this year. Coming off the bench, he's been a great shooter this year. He's actually shooting almost 40% from three-point, which is very good, especially considering it's still high school, and of course on senior day he's going to shoot the ball.
I kind of looked at this game as a big one for Metuchen. They're playing against a team that's only won 4 games and 1-13 in the GMC White division. Obviously that's a tougher division than the GMC Blue, which Metuchen plays in. But this is something I think a game where Metuchen matches up well, and you want to see them try to pull this game out. And obviously the fans do too, as even though they're having a little bit of a rough season, fans are still here even on the last game, fully sold out it seems, as it's Cassani fighting for it with Kyle Hunter. It should be a jump ball, which is the arrow pointing Blues way. Underneath the basket is Hunter. Now seeing those starters come in, still seniors though, as Malamug and Cone come in for Van Leeuwen and Galeota. First subbing of the day for James Cardillo. There were subbing before as Adieri came out for Hunter, who's sitting at the top of the key right now. Here's a three-pointer, nowhere near. Underneath, I tried to keep it inside, was Jaylene Soriano. He couldn't, and it's going to be Metuchen's ball. Almost halfway through the quarter, Bulldogs playing a good one as they lead by 2. Low-scoring affair here from the Brainy Borough.
And it always takes a little bit for your offense to really get going. We saw it yesterday, actually, versus the girls. And it's always tough to get your offense going, but it seems like some of the subs that you're now working in are going to get it going.
Yep. As you see, always trying to get something going. That one was Dreher. He lost it, little fumble, scooped up by the Zebras. Now coming to the hoop, little dribble and a nice play finished by Quamir Thompson, one of their star players on the team. He started and he gets the points. It's 5-5. This game's all tied up. Three-pointer, Cone. You want to see him turn on, Jared. That's one of your 3 wishes, I think, if you're Metuchen. Get Max to turn on his three-point shooting. I think when he's hot, as we say, he's always hot. And when he's able to hit his three-pointers, the defense can't really stop it.
And Cardillo is obviously lucky to have a bunch of shooters, and most of them are seniors. So we're seeing Cardillo have to sort of work in some of his different players next year. 7 seniors leaving. You're going to have a whole new roster. Quickly
subbing back into the game are both Van Leeuwen and Galeota. They check in for Gudrathi and Kasani. So interesting. Dreher's the only player right now that hasn't been subbed out or subbed in. Jumper. Thompson, no good. Rebounded by Hunter. Hunter spins. There's a lot of options outside of the arc. A wide open man. There he is. Soriano from 3. Overshot it. His second failed three-point attempt of the day. Back up at the key. The top of the shot. It's good. A three-pointer. Christopher Maranta hits the three-pointer and bundles New Brunswick back in the lead. Largest lead they've had at this point in this game. Nikki Van Leeuwen inside to Malamug, who's on the floor and fouled. Defensive foul, send Malamug. No, that was, Malamug who was fouled. He'll get 2 shots. Second foul of the day for New Brunswick's Christopher Udiaga. Breaks the first shot from the stripe, so try to get at least 1 here. If they end up making this one, it's 8-6. It's not too bad. You just want to try to get the points whenever you can. Malamug missed the first. He's been relatively nice from the stripe this year, and he hits the second. So 1 of 2 from the line. Bulldogs sort of cutting into the lead. Still a 2-point game, though. They trail. Thompson underneath to Soriano, back to Thompson. Thompson sets it up. He is fresh as a starter, but he's playing with a few bench players right now who are fresh off the bench. And they're going to call this Metuchen a timeout by the offense. So New Brunswick blows their first timeout of the half, and they'll talk things over. Metuchen to the side. What do you tell Metuchen right now if you want to try to surge some momentum?
Well, Metuchen's obviously got to get their offense going. Their defense hasn't been terrible so far in this first quarter, but of course the offense, your shooters, you can't really rely on them. You have to start simple, and you have to get some points down in the paint, get really as many points as you can, no matter how pretty. And if you're New Brunswick, you know, as a struggling team, you've always got something to prove, and you like these games because obviously a big student section here tonight, you want to prove to them that you're a real deal team, even though given their record.
Yeah, even before the game, people were like, this should be an easy one for Metuchen. Don't let this sneak up on you. Records don't always tell the whole story, as we've seen with many of the teams in the past, as they play tougher competition. Here's a jumper, bricks off, and it's received and pulled down by Kasani, who kicks over to the clear point guard here, Nikki Van Leeuwen. Interesting, he's playing the point guard while Cone sits up top, it seems. Here's a fake shot, or at least a travel they'll call against Galeota. That's just careless. I mean, it didn't seem like a travel to me, but it stinks. You want to try to, have a polished game in games like these. Like when like you said, you're playing a pretty evenly matched team and a game where you really want to try to pull it out. But I'm not sure he did travel there. Maybe a little bit of a missed call. There's a shot. Oh, a chance by Cone. Was it a foul on the defense? They will call it a foul. It is on the defense. Chance for 2 now. Cone to the line. First foul by Kwamir Thompson this game, and Cone's been pretty good from the line this year. In fact, he's been very good from the line. And ooh, little bobble in. He'll take his points. It's 8-7. Checked into the game, Christopher Diaz for his first minutes. Wow, there's 4 Christophers on New Brunswick. Can you believe that? Both shots go in. There's Christopher Diaz, Christopher Maranta, Christopher Guante, and Christopher Udiaga. As more important subject here, Kasani's on the floor with the ball. The question is, will they keep the ball? They say they do, as it was Kasani who's really getting into that, and he ended up winning his team the ball. And they're going to inbound from their own line, now with the chance to reclaim the lead for the first time since 6 minutes left in the quarter.
And obviously ball security is going to be important here. We've seen it earlier this season, where if you are able to string some passes together, you're bound to get some points. And you give them up like that, and you're going to be on the defensive floor a lot more, and it's going to be tough for you.
Another thing to note, Audieri is back on the floor. He moves outside to a 3-point shooter who also hit one before. That one a chance. No good from Maranta. Rebounded. Kasani's got it. He's getting physical and getting some rebounds, and the Dogs back on the offense. Minute 20 to go in the first quarter. Galeota. Little pivot. He traveled again. Interesting. I don't know if that was a travel. That one was a little more unclear, but how do you make sure Galeota does the right thing with the ball? Because it's not like it's been a problem all year. What do you say to him if you're Coach Cardillo? Is it really a problem you're looking at, or?
And both calls, I'd say, were pretty questionable calls. Which, of course, if you're Coach Cardillo, you're not telling your players to argue with the refs, or
right.
I mean, I don't think that the traveling is really a problem because we haven't seen it all season. I think
Right.
it's just been some unfortunate ball handling there, but obviously let the refs do their jobs and play the game.
Speaking of unfortunate, there's a 3-pointer. Good from range are the Zebras, and back in front they are. Rebound, and now they've got a surge of momentum after the Cone missed jumper on the fast break. Was he fouled? He was. Points don't go in. 2 shots from the line on their way. Maranta looking for his 4th and 5th of the day. Want to see Metuchen's defense sort of tighten up a little bit. It's not like they've been terrible at all, and this is definitely not the worst defensive performance we've seen by them this year, but it's something that obviously you want to fix with the quarter coming up.
And they've been a bit careless on defense. I think they're going man defense, and we've seen it earlier in the season where they'll actually switch into zone later in the game. I wonder how early Coach Cardillo is going to do it here today, depending on what scheme works best for them here.
Yeah. We'll see. Obviously, the zone and man kind of flip off, which is the most effective for them in a game, and that's why it's really in Cardillo's hands to make the adjustments that they need to. Notable players that haven't checked into the game: Cody Cardillo, captain. We have not seen Ben Santis or a few other players. Here's a 3-pointer, no good from Cone, and the offense looks a little bit stale too. With 15 seconds to go in the quarter, definitely some changes have to be made by the end of the quarter. Hunter with the ball in his hands. That was Thompson. Thompson looking open underneath. No one on him. Did he get the shot off in time? Are they going to count the points? They say they will. And that ends the quarter. Right now, 15-8. Zebras in the lead, and that was a tough quarter from the Dogs, mostly defensively. Offensively, too. What was the biggest concern in the quarter?
I think they're relying on their shooters too much. They're kicking it to the arc and putting up some almost silly shots there in the first quarter. Kicking it to Sahil Gujarathy and kicking it to Max Cone. Max Cone we haven't seen too much of here today, but of course, like you said, when he starts shooting hot, he really scores a lot of points.
Now we'll have to get going, though. A few of the offensive like plans that they've had just haven't really worked in this one. A lot of three-point shooting, and when it's not working, sometimes you can't just beat it to death, and that's what they're doing a little bit. So they're going to try to have to fix that strategy entering the second quarter. We'll step aside for now, though. Metuchen trailing by 7. See you in a few seconds. Ready to go, no Henry Sia today, so no analyst for the end of the quarters and halves, but we do have a special guest coming up at halftime. Stay on for that, and stay on for the rest of this game. It's shaping up to be a good one, Jared.
Yeah, it certainly is, and a close game so far. We'll see what happens in the rest of the game here.
Lots of time to go, obviously, but Metuchen has a few things to work on, and so does New Brunswick, and they have the ball. Adiari kicks outside, three-pointer from the far corner, nowhere near, hits the top of the backboard, which is going to stop the clock automatically and give the ball to White. Cone will inbound, and Metuchen has the chance now to put some points back on the board for the first time in a little bit. Haven't had any points since the Max Cone free throws. 3 of their points have come from free throws tonight, as it's going to be pointed in the favor of New Brunswick. I'm not sure who that was against exactly. They're going to say it's just going to be New Brunswick inbound from the other side of the court. It's Christopher Diaz looking up top. He's guarded by the first-time player, at least tonight, Danny Kuhn. He's in for the first time tonight. Danny Galligan's out there for the first time. Cody Cardillo. Guess the strategy was seniors first quarter and everything else, it's whatever. Here's a three-pointer. New Brunswick cashes in again. It's 18-8. And more struggles as a turnover. Kuhn lost it, a little fumble, and almost a minute into the quarter. And this is a struggle for the Dogs. Adiari. Little easy for him, but he couldn't get it. Outside. Little dish outwards, three-pointer. This one looks off. It bricks out into the hands of Max Cone. The three-point no good by Morenta. And now outside to Kuhn on the offensive end. Galligan works on a little bouncer. Here's Santos, who's also seeing his first time of the day. Oh, Cardillo just decked him. That's that football strength, but also that foul strength, which brings down the defender. That was a serious hit. Oh, my God.
Yeah. And Metuchen today, obviously we root for Metuchen being part of their high school, but they've been careless with the ball today.
Check this out. Oh, we can't see it, but I would have showed you that Cardillo replay. We'll show you it a little bit. Our replays, we're about to start up. Instant replay, but we'll show you for the second half. We'll have that all fixed up. Still New Brunswick with it. It's their first drive in a few seconds, but they haven't really been shut down today. There's a foul, or travel, excuse me, by the offense, and it's Metuchen ball. Out of the game is Cone. He wasn't able to find much success, and it's not even his fault, but they were kind of shutting him down pretty well.
Yeah, they were, but of course Max Cone just needs to settle into this offense like the rest of the team. We saw them struggle a lot in the first quarter, but sort of settling in here into the second quarter, we should see this offense activate.
And look how relaxed up that play was by Santos. He just settled down under the pressure and laid it in while being fouled. The junior gets 2 points, chance for 3. Big momentum boost for the Bulldogs as they start to cut into that what was 10-point lead. Now a chance to make it 7 with Santos at the line. One of the better free throw shooters on the team, probably the best, and he can't get it to go, as so he'll just have to take his 2 points from the initial basket. Was that a backcourt violation? It was. It's Metuchen's ball. So, okay, like I say a lot of the games, right, Jared? We have to take advantage of our mistakes if we're Metuchen. There's mistakes right now from New Brunswick. There's no doubt about it. They started off great out of that second quarter, and they're starting to struggle a little bit, maybe hitting a wall. And if you're Metuchen, you have to capitalize, try to get your points, and make this a closer game.
And New Brunswick's actually capitalized on a lot of the ball security mistakes that Metuchen's had, but of course the offense is a little slow for Metuchen, and There's the commentator's curse.
There you
working.
go. Top commentator curse. Episode 1 of the night. Galligan hits a 3 from range, and that's 5 consecutive Bulldog points. They're putting something on. Galligan hits his first attempt of the day. Nice shot there. They have to hold defense, though. Feels like every time they hit a 3, they let up a 3. Hold the outside as you see a wide-open Thompson at the top of your screen. Now underneath to Maranta. Maranta's looked good from range. He's hit 2 shots of 3. Now he has it. Moving it around are the Zebras. Little pass to the corner and guarded by Gudrafi. This is a tight defense right now for Metuchen. More zone defense, and they're turning it on a little bit more. Pulled down by Adiari, but they're not going to count the points. It's going to be Metuchen ball, a foul on Adiari, and now, look at this, Metuchen with the chance to make this even a closer game, and Adiari has his first foul of the game, so not only is the momentum helping the offense, but man, it's helping the defense. Nice tight zone ran there, and they shut down New Brunswick and forced a foul.
Yeah, that was actually really pretty on defense there. Coach Cardillo working in the zone defense at the start of the second quarter, and we saw it work to perfection there, shutting them down.
So Santos is talking to Coach Cardillo about some plans because they've ran a few different plays after the fouls, on the defensive side. They try to avoid fast breaks. So if he misses the second shot, a lot of the times Metuchen ends up allowing points, you'll see. Because on the fast break, New Brunswick might be able to convert. This one goes out of bounds. It's going to stay Metuchen possession. Little lucky there. Last hit off a blue shirt, and it's going to be inbounded by Gudrafi, or by Santos. Lineup right now for the Dogs. Santos, Gudrafi, Cardillo with the ball, Kuhn, and Galligan. Little spin, shot, air ball by Santos. Saved in and kept by New Brunswick. They'll take it across the line. Oh, quick steal, hit off Gudrafi, over to Galligan. Galligan to the hoop, he's got it, 18-15. Nice play by Galligan and a nice steal from Gudrafi to give him that chance on the fast break. It's 18-15.
And it always takes some time for a team to really wake up, and Metuchen's done that here. They've answered the call 7 straight points and locking it down on defense too, not allowing a single one.
Antoine Allen, the head coach, little angry right now with the way that this is going. He's screaming from the sideline. Nothing to scream about anymore after a huge three-pointer, but the defense still lacking a little bit. Huge three-pointer though there. As I said, you know, they allow points and then they put points on the board. They're good at bouncing back. Here's Santos to the glass, a little too harsh with it off the backboard, and it's going to be against Metuchen, staying with New Brunswick with the ball. That stinks for Metuchen, but hey, they're a lot closer than they were a few seconds ago into this game. It's a 6-point game. Definitely a winnable night, and they want to be able to pull this game out, I bet, more than anything this year in front of the fans. It's going to be a good one in the second half. But we're winding down the moments on the first half, which has 3 minutes 51 to go in the second quarter.
And a packed house here tonight. We, of course, want to see the support for these seniors. Full bleachers that you can see, and, of course, behind us on our section, full house.
Nice play by Adiari to get the points to go. Now an 8-point game. Little bit of momentum for New Brunswick, countering that nice momentum from Metuchen from moments ago. 8-point game. Metuchen needs a little surge here. Maybe a three-pointer, maybe something. A little something in their veins. Maybe this. Ooh, not that. Galligan's shot from 3, no good. Rebounded by New Brunswick. Their ball. Peralta shifting out. New Brunswick with it. Peralta, Maranta, Diaz, Adiari, and Thompson, the lineup for the Zebras. Steal. Here comes Galligan on the move. He's got speed. He kicks outside. That's Danny Kuhn for 3. Huge three-pointer there. They strike back, and they're now closer. It's a 23-18 game. Metuchen now cuts it to 5. That's huge. That's that surge of momentum I talked about. Huge for Metuchen as they're able to get the fans cheering for something again. What a shot by Kuhn, and what a find there on the pass by Gudrafi.
And Coach Cardillo visibly confused at this call. It's obviously in our blind spot, so we can't see what happened. But we thought it was a timeout on our end. We can't tell what the call is. It looks like it's going to stay with New Brunswick, though.
It is Metuchen seemed to think they had the ball. New Brunswick obviously thought they had the ball, and they're going to get the right of way here with the ball offensively. Here's a quick steal. Cameras can't even keep up with Max Cohn, but he can't keep up with himself either as he missed it. That was tough, though. He's out-heighted there, trying to lay it off the glass over a defender. But it's going to be Metuchen ball after a quick throw over the head of, like, 6-foot Victor Adiari. And it's Metuchen's ball.
And we see a bunch of surges in games like this where teams go on runs of 7 or 5. And we've seen it from both sides here already, but Metuchen hopefully sparking something here.
Pass over to Malamug. Malamug out to Galligan. Lost it. Oh, it's going to be, I think, Metuchen ball. That's huge for them. They catch a break after struggling with it and losing the ball. They catch a break and maintain possession after a lost possession there from New Brunswick. And this is the type of stuff I was talking about. If Metuchen's able to put points on the board, those are free points given by New Brunswick, and that's a full capitalization on, you know, an error. Ooh, faked out a defender, and an easy free shot for Galligan. No good. He overshot it. He's been good tonight, but he can't hit that one from deep, too. Now from 3. That one looked like it might have went in, but it didn't. Soriano didn't get it. How about a second one from Peralta? Pulled down by Soriano. And, ooh, little scrum underneath. Foul on Metuchen. Looked like maybe it was on Janu Dreher, who's seen a lot of time today. The call's against Marcus Malamug. They're going to say it was a shooting foul, and Soriano to the line. Not sure it was a shooting foul, but he'll take 2 shots.
And Metuchen getting a fortunate bounce on that previous possession, getting the ball right back on the offensive side. You need to capitalize on those. When you get a gift like that, getting the ball right back in your offensive zone, you got to turn that into points. And unfortunate break there for Danny Galligan.
Soriano hits the first, which will give him a second. This being the bonus shots. So it wasn't a shooting foul. I was a little confused, but it wasn't a shooting foul. It was just a bonus chance. He got the bonus. He hits both. That's huge. Soriano hits both from the stripe. Bulldogs with it, minute and a half.
And it's not often when both teams actually hit the bonus, especially in the first half, but both teams already have it here.
Both teams, yeah. No one in double bonus land yet, both at 7 fouls. Shot from Galligan, no good. Ripped down by Zebras, and here they come. Stolen, quick steal, here comes Cohn, ball lost, they have to capitalize here, pass over to Dreher, he's fumbling out of bounds, this is a 50-50 call, the possession arrow pointed in favor of Metuchen, it will stay on this side of the court. That looked like, yeah, it was like a 50-50 call, but luckily for the Dogs, they have the ball. And it's inbounded by Cohn, who lofted it over the head of Galligan, fighting for it was Gudrathi. Are they going to call this backcourt? Yeah, they're calling it a backcourt violation by Metuchen. A little sloppy there. So have to polish some things for the second half.
And their ball security, like I've said, has been a real issue today. They've been giving the ball up a lot of steals for New Brunswick. And they're going to be on defense a lot if they keep this up.
Not something that's usually a critique of Metuchen's. We don't have to say that much. Usually ball security remains pretty good this year at least, but struggling a little bit tonight, obviously playing against a big school. See if they could polish some things up for the second half, because that's probably the biggest gripe of Metuchen's defense, or offense tonight.
And it's not like they've been fouling overly a lot here for New Brunswick, but they have the same amount of fouls, so it's canceling out a little bit. They just need to capitalize on stringing some passes together and really keeping the ball in their own hands.
Man, this is a slow offense. If there was a shot clock, they might have hit it 3 times. Peralta and Soriano seem to be just having a catch, and it's because Metuchen's adding no defense. This is not something we've seen before. Just pass it around. Soriano at the top, Peralta. I mean, they're only using Galligan on defense. He's getting gassed out there, and now Gudrathi's going too. have no words right now. His shot goes up and over the backboard by Soriano, but they're going to call it a foul. Interesting.
And all that for a foul.
Oh, man. And all that to waste, what, 40 seconds off the clock, 50 seconds. So to the line is Soriano. He's 2 for 2 from the charity stripe tonight. He'll have a chance for 2 more after the foul by Dreher, his second. No good. Pulled down by Malamud. He shoves his way for some more space. Doesn't give him enough time. 2-1. Cone. Almost a half-court shot. No good. Overshot it. And that takes us to the end of the first half. Tough half, Jared, by Metuchen. They're down by 7.
Yeah, and I definitely want to see them work on some of that ball security like I touched on before. They've definitely been losing the ball a lot.
All right, so I promised you a special guest here at halftime, and this is a very special guest. I'm joined here by Mayor Jonathan Bush. Really, it is my honor to be here with you tonight. Actually, if you guys don't know, it's my dad. So, Dad, Mayor Jonathan Bush, how are you tonight?
I am so excited to get the acknowledgement of being your father in this interview. I'm doing great tonight. How are you doing, Ike?
I'm doing great. I could be better, though. Metuchen isn't playing the best game. They have a few things to work on, but I don't know. As a fellow sports watcher, what are you watching in this Metuchen game?
I am watching 2 teams, 2 classic programs battle it out. I'm really excited that it's a very big crowd tonight. I would say, do you think this is the largest? I have not been in person to any games this year. I've just obviously been to watching your games on YouTube and listening to you during the broadcast. But this is my first time at a game this year. Is this one of the largest crowds, you would say, of the home games?
Well, first of all, I like to be interviewed, so thank you. I'm never the one getting interviewed, so thank you. I'll take
You're
this.
welcome.
But yeah, this probably is in there with the top, maybe the most crowded. There was one earlier in the season. I think it was the 20th in January when it was the mental health awareness game for Metuchen. They weren't able to win that, but the fans were unbelievable.
Well, so my point with all of this is that it is a very exciting environment. It feels almost collegiate in the excitement that the students are providing, the fans are providing, the idea that it's senior night and all these kids are being honored, and also that adds to it, right? Senior night, you allow the seniors to play as much as possible, whether they typically play as often as these guys are today. It gave, I think it gave Metuchen a little bit of an excitement edge, but also, maybe the second half, Coach Cardillo pulls the trigger a little bit on some of, the plays they've been studying all season. Yeah,
well, part of this whole environment has to do with the small gym, and it also has something to do with the small school. In New Brunswick, you might find a much bigger gym, maybe multiple gyms, and bigger seats and more fans, obviously, that come with it because it's a bigger school, obviously, than Metuchen. So, yeah, it's a smaller gym. And speaking of, by the way, smaller gyms, Metuchen's, by way of word, I'm pretty sure Metuchen's having some changes here in the high school.
So, again, this is me as knowing probably as much as you do about this, other than studying the referenda that were presented to the voters in Metuchen in November. There were 3 questions. The third question, which is the one that passed by the smallest margin, but it did pass, had to do with the extra among all this, and that was another gymnasium. So from what I understand, there's going to be a second gymnasium constructed at some point over the next couple of years.
And where would that be in reference to?
I don't know exactly where it would
be. Okay.
So I think it's around this space in the back of the high school, but if you're playing Stump the Mayor, you won that one, kiddo.
Thank you. I'm really honored. I don't do that much, so I'll take that.
At home, a little bit, but
maybe a little bit. Never on air,
just
though.
Just a little bit.
Not just a little bit.
I'll
give myself a little more credit. Yeah, referendum coming up. It changes a lot of things, obviously. Ed, what does it do for Metuchen athletics in general? Do you know anything about that?
I think any time that you expand your facilities, you make them more attractive. You might make it more attractive for kids to play sports. And the gymnasium is one thing. One of the features of the referenda that were offered in one of the other questions was the lights, for example, at Metuchen High School. And lights at the high school are transformative.
Yeah.
They allow more playing time for kids, more access to fields. You know, whether it's the band using it or whether it is the football team, the soccer team, maybe hint, an eventual lacrosse team for the high school. The bottom line is that the idea of lights here will also not just benefit the schools, but these are community schools. How often, when you weren't yet a student, did you use the fields there? So it's great. I ultimately I'm happy for the school district. I know they worked hard on this program, and lights at the football, soccer, outdoor field and stadium will be a major asset for kids going forward.
Yeah, we got a hint of what that might be like in the week of lights. I think it was Monday field hockey, Tuesday girls soccer, something, and all the way it led up to the MHS Metuchen football game, which would be on Saturday night or Friday night this year. Last year was on Saturday night. But it was an unbelievable environment. Every single game was a whiteout night, actually, and all the fans were unbelievable. It kind of gave off a vibe that this one did. If it closes out to be a good one and Metuchen and New Brunswick ends up in a battle, this one should be very, very fun to watch. The fans really can get into it because you have a lot to work with here. There's a lot of fans, and part of that has to do with kind of the environment. But will that change with two gyms? I'm not really sure on the logistics of the gyms, and I know maybe you aren't into, but I definitely need to know a little bit more somehow.
I would think that's on the school officials and the kids to figure it out, to make sure that the gym that's built creates an environment that is inviting, exciting. That happens, I think, in facilities all the time. When you have a old classic facility that's been used, that has history in it, and you open a new one, you want to make sure that you don't lose the feeling that you've always had, right? Because so much about sports and spirit has to do with the feeling that you get when you're rooting or cheering on your team. And I think that's a challenge, and it's something I think the school district's going to have to work on. It's up to the students to help transition that, and the staff. And just because you may lose some old traditions, maybe the shape is a little different, maybe it's a little larger, a little more accessible, doesn't mean you can't make some new ones.
I'm sure it'll end up great. However, obviously it ends up teams though back out there, so we do have to come off in just a second though. Just one final question for you, Mayor Jonathan Bush. By the way, really great to be here with you.
Really great to be here.
Yeah, really great to be here.
It's really great to be here. This is fun for us, but this is a father-son thing going on.
Yeah.
And last year we did this, and I think it felt a little more formal. This year I'm feeling like you're a little more comfortable, just like admitting that, my dad is here. And
yeah, maybe a little bit.
And that's just the mayor. He's my dad.
Yeah, well, last year actually, and leads me to my next question. Last year we were sitting in the athletic director's room, and you came in here today when I texted you, come in at halftime, you're our special guest for the night. And you said, wait, you guys are in this media room? And it's unbelievable, first of all, that you didn't know that, because I'm in here every single day, but that's aside the point.
I drop you off.
Yeah.
To the school, and you go where you go. I don't know exactly where you go.
But it's still, but it's we're in the media room right now, which hasn't always been here. Well, at least it's been here, but it hasn't been the media room until pretty much recently. So now it's the media room. This program is on the rise, Dad.
It is, and this is the proud dad part. It's not just you, but of course you've been a huge part of it. But it's also, the staff at the school.
Yep.
Ben Solaski, who I know you worked with. You had Henry Sia helping you. You've had Jared Popek. I could name all the kids that you've told me about when you come home.
And Dylan Manfree pretty much started the program. Eddie Kolegi.
All these kids
huge.
before you. That
Mr. Cathcart.
Mr. Cathcart, of
Mr.
course.
Porowski. Yeah, a lot of people.
Mr. Porowski.
We could go on, by the way, and that's part of the thing. That's part of the main part of it.
It's. I know the Metuchen Ed Foundation originally helped with some money to get this program started, but I'm really proud of all you guys for taking the baton from your predecessors and running with it. It's something that you're going to have to do, and the onus is on you to do to future generations and the younger kids as they come up. It is amazing. Not all schools have this. They have a media program, that have the opportunity to announce games, that have the opportunity to create documentaries about important topics.
Yep.
This is a really special program, and it's going to help all you guys in the future as you pursue careers in journalism, broadcasting, all that stuff.
Well, thank you for coming on. I know that you were here and you just had to say something here on on the live. Just kidding. But it was great. Really, all seriousness,
Give me
it
a
was really.
microphone, Ike. I'll speak into it. I'm just saying.
It was really great to have you on. It was fun, and also if you haven't watched our past interviews, I was on with Mr. Paragallo from the last game, which was pretty fun.
Oh, that's great. He came
Yeah,
back?
at halftime. Yeah, we came and
didn't hear that
talked. So that was a good one. That was pretty fun. Lasted a little while too, but yeah, really awesome. We've had a little halftime reports at more recently, and now we're. You know, the good thing about it is it's kind of the perfect amount of time in between, and now we can get back to the game.
That's right. And Jared Popek gets to come back with you, and the two
Take
of you
your mic.
can take over from here. So anyway, great to be here. Keep up the good work to you and your fellow media club members, and thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for joining us.
And
Yeah, really great.
I'll see you at the house later, I guess.
I don't know if I'm coming home. I think I'm going out. It's a Friday night, Dad.
Have fun. I can see you later.
Okay, so we're back in action. Jared Popek nowhere to be found. He'll be back in a second. He's having a good time at halftime. I'm here stuck with my dad. Just kidding. That was a good time. It really was. So if you stuck around, or if you're just joining us here on the Bulldog Report, just interviewed the mayor of Metuchen. Last game, got to interview Bruce Paragallo, former principal here at the Metuchen High School. Lots of stuff, if you didn't watch, about the referendum, the gym, the school, the programs, and more. Make sure to check that out if you're just joining us back from fresh out of the half. Jared is back too. What's up, Jared?
How's it going?
Okay, so Ben Galliota's at the line. He was fouled on the way to the hoop. Metuchen has to change some things here in the second half.
Yeah, they certainly do, and the steals have been definitely good for New Brunswick so far. They've put up a good score, given their record 4-21, 1-13 in the GMC White, but obviously still a very formidable offense, and they need to stop them here. Their defense needs to step up, and let's see if they continue the zone defense that they've had so far.
And he hits each of them. It's a 5-point game. Good stuff to start off for the Bulldogs. They have to keep it defensively strong also. 5-point game. Moranta with it. Little bouncer all the way across. Pass inside. Spin move up. And no good. Rebounded. And it's going to be a foul on Metuchen. Feels like the focal point of this offense all night has been Victor Adiari for New Brunswick. And even if he hasn't had the point production, which he seemed like he might have in the start of the game, the way he was putting up points early on, he's been good, really good. And he's been subbed out frequently, but making passes, making plays, rebounds have been a big part of his game, and he's been probably the most effective player tonight for New Brunswick.
And he's been very good, obviously a 6'5" center for New Brunswick. He's a skilled offensive player, and I think Metuchen got wind of his woes at the free throw line, where they're sort of fouling him instead of trying to contain him, because obviously trying to contain a 6'5" guy in the paint is tough to do.
Yeah. How do you shut him down, though? How do you focus on shutting him down? Right now it looks like he's on Cassani, but who could be better defending against a guy like that? 6'5" is crazy.
I'm thinking Marcus Malamug or, of course, John Udreyer would be a great opponent to go against Victor Adieri. And I heard Coach Cardillo was actually working yesterday in practice about boxing out around the rebounds. And getting a rebound against a kid like that is going to be tough when, of course, he's 5-6 inches taller than you. But boxing out going to be very important to get the rebounds and get some possession.
Moranta with it. He fakes out Gudrafi. By the way, still all seniors out there. So they're starting the first half and the second half, and this is, I don't know, you have to focus more on winning this game or getting your seniors some time. That's something Cardillo will have to weigh his options a little more, but obviously very important for seniors to get that playing time. Obviously, though, you want to walk out with a W for senior night more so than a loss on senior night. We'll see how he manages the game. I would find it hard to believe that no juniors or sophomores come in the entire third quarter the way it went in the first quarter, but we'll see. Obviously, everything's subject to change. New Brunswick's good at slowing the game down. We saw it before. They were just passing this thing around for so long. And they have all the luxury to do that right now. They're up by 8. Wrestling for it is Galeota in there with Moranta. He's not called for a foul. It's a timeout. and they'll step aside, and so will we. 28-20, visitors up right now. 6:14 to go in the third quarter. You're watching the Bulldog Report. Ready to go here, back off the break and the timeout. Quick move, here's Van Leeuwen, floats it up. He's fouled. He'll have the chance for his first points that aren't off the three-pointer. And look at all the team supporting him as he was fouled. Van Leeuwen to the line. He's a good free throw shooter. We just haven't seen it this year because he's been injured, and he would have probably been a major piece for this Metuchen team, and no joke, if he hadn't gotten injured. He has a big injury history, obviously, which stinks. As you see, he hits the first free throw, and it stinks because it feels like he's always injured, and he kind of is, but the beauty is when he's in, it's pretty beautiful. Hits the first, misses the second, pulled down by Adiari.
And it's unfortunate for Nicky Van Leeuwen, obviously, just come back from a hand injury, and he's played a couple games so far this season after he's been back.
Here's a quick steal. Here's Gudrafi behind the back, puts it up, foul. That would have been unbelievable if he was able to hit that, but he's going to be fouled again. Look at these fouls. I mean, it's pretty crazy. Both teams already have 2. That's the third for New Brunswick of the half, and we're like 2 minutes and 9 seconds into the half. This has been a physical game, unlike last night, which, by the way, we did a girls game. It was barely physical. It just shows how all depends on how you match up against certain teams. If something's going to be a foul plagued game versus if it's going to be rare for fouls. And tonight you're playing against a physical team in New Brunswick, and you're already halfway to the bonus, 2 minutes into the second half. So Metuchen has to take advantage of their bonus, which will probably end up coming, they'll hope, in the near future. But for now, it's a nice trip to the line for Gudrafi. Hits one, and it's 28-22. Metuchen, though they're losing consistently tonight, has not given up. Every single game, every single drive, they're putting up nice shots, nice drives, nice chances, and they're able to get some points consistently. There's Kasani wrestling onto the ball, and it's Metuchen on it. Defense has looked stiffer out of the gate. Looking good here in the second half, a little more than in the first half, I think, in general for Metuchen. It's staying in the area on a defensive foul. How about another one? Another one for New Brunswick. How can Metuchen use these fouls to their advantage as the game kind of progresses?
Of course, you have to take advantage of New Brunswick's mistakes, and you got to put the ball in the hands of your good free throw shooters. Your Nicky Van Leeuwen, your Ben Santis, although he's not even out right now. But put the ball in the hands of your free throw shooters and try and get them to the line if you can in a physical game like this.
Swatted. Nice play there by Maranta. He was able to get the ball and take it across the half. Kicks outside. Little floater over by Diaz. Back to Maranta. All 5 out there. 3 bench players, or at least 3 non-starters. Again, it looks like Cardillo is kind of going by that all seniors look. No juniors out there here in the third quarter. We'll definitely see them in the fourth quarter. Into the game are Malamug and Cone. Out comes Van Leeuwen and Galeota. Up at the far edge. Bounce pass. Back around. Diaz over to Maranta. Maranta's been pretty good tonight defensively, and he has a three-pointer also to go with his nice defensive game. Diaz, and they're slowing down the offense again, and the defense as a result, and the game as a result. A lot of this clock has been chewed by this Zebra offense. floater, Maranta, 6-point game. They're playing with fire a little bit because Metuchen's made a few steals with this, countering this offense. I don't know how to counter this. How do you counter an offense like this? Because if you overcommit, you're leaving yourself exposed for points. And if you undercommit, they'll just do this.
It's certainly tough for Metuchen, but it's an interesting strategy by New Brunswick. You'd think you're on offense, you try and get as many points as you can in a game. Obviously, points win you the game, but trying to keep the ball while you're ahead. Let's see if it comes back to bite them when Metuchen goes on a scoring run and eventually takes the lead, and then they're going to be sorry, wishing they could have got some time back.
We'll see. By the way, that was a chance from Maranta. He had the missed shot, grabbed his own rebounds, and then Adiari couldn't hit a few of them. And now at the line is Adiari. Or not at the line. It wasn't a shooting foul. Okay. But it was a foul, and there's now 4 fouls apiece. Happy birthday, Cassidy Connors. She's in here right now. Member of the media crew. Here's Adiari. He was just fouled. He puts up and in, and Adiari maybe the focal point in the second half as well as the first half as he gets them up to an 8-point lead.
And Metuchen's still having some difficulty containing Adiari. And, of course, a physical player, a great player in the paint, 6'5", and it's, of course, a focal point in Coach Cardillo's practices yesterday and the day before, a discussion about how do you contain this kid. And, of course, you have the 4 other players, certainly great players. I mean, up by 8 right now. Let's see what Metuchen can do to contain this offense.
5 fouls. They're probably approaching bonus land, maybe on pace for a bonus in the third quarter. Unbelievable. Bonus, if you don't know, 7 fouls get a team to bonus, which means any foul, even like a reach-in or a push, become a shooting foul, which will be a chance at the line. So huge, 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 huge if Metuchen's able to get into bonus territory. But the problem is New Brunswick is approaching bonus also because Metuchen's fouled 4 times. And Metuchen hasn't even fouled that much this year. Last year they were a big foul team. This year they kind of barely foul. It's very rare there's bonuses against them, and even for them also. They haven't been involved in many foul-ridden games, but this feels more like a game last year when there was fouls left and right with more physical players like Kay Emsley and Liam Benderly and Dom Schiappa for Metuchen.
And it doesn't happen often, especially in high school, but of course you get a really physical team that's playing against you, and it's going to be a physical game where you're going to get some fouls in the paint, and we've seen it here.
Floater, bouncer, chance.
And there's another.
Yeah, there's another foul. That one on Metuchen against Metuchen. Hunter was fouled, trying to figure out what the exact foul was. I think he just pushed him. Foul against Tom Cassani. Thomas's second. Maranta. He's been a major point of the offense. They're not going to count the points. He hit a 3-pointer. It's not counting. Metuchen catches a break. That would have been huge. And the coach, Antoine Allen, is pretty fed up about it. They're going to talk things over. Men in the striped shirts are a big part in this one as they have a big call. I'm not sure what the call was. And they're going to count those points, I think. Explain it to head coach James Cardillo. What would the call even be? I didn't see a foul, which they're saying it was before. But anyway, it's 6 fouls by New Brunswick. They're 1 away from bonus. Yeah, that was the shot. And okay, they say it didn't count. I wish we can go back just a little bit. But yeah, it's Metuchen ball. Sorry, that was not real life, real time. Metuchen ball, that was instant replay, our first feature here on the Bulldog Report, as we promised. Here's Max Cohn with it. He moves to Nicky Van Leeuwen. Van Leeuwen to his right. Van Leeuwen outside. Galeota, pump fake, jumper. No good. He had everything done but the points. Nice drive, but no finish by Galeota. Metuchen ball, I think it went out of bounds kind of in our dead area here on cameras. Want that technology for a middle camera, but only can use what we have, and for now we'll just say it's Metuchen ball because it went out of bounds. I'm quite sure that's the call based off how the refs pointed. 33-22, those 3 points did count, by the way, for Maranta after consideration by both refs.
And another foul here?
Yeah, yep. 6 for both teams.
So both
Out of the
teams
half.
won away.
Yep. 6 for both teams out of the half, and each were in bonus land in the first half. So it's been, what, 30 fouls this game in total? Something around that? Because it was each in, like, it was 8 and 7 in the first half. 15. This is 13. We're like at 28 fouls in the game. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
There's usually maybe 15 total.
Yep.
Maybe. 13, 10 even. I mean, on a low day. Pretty crazy how it's going right now. As Van Leeuwen walked, he walked with it, and they're craving their juniors, as you see. A bunch of the juniors and sophomores come in. Head coach Cardillo's like, man, I know it's senior night, but we need some of our real stars out there, and he puts in a few of the good players to sub out a few of the other good players.
And of course it's senior night, but you also want to win the game, so you got to tell your juniors, you know, like, let them cook. So New Brunswick now on the ball. Let's see what they could do.
Moment of silence after that one.
You didn't like that?
I
Let
did
them
not.
cook?
Let him cook was cringy. Timeout called by Antoine Allen, and New Brunswick will have a brief moment to talk things over, and so will we. We'll step aside here on the Bulldog Report. Ike Bush and Jared Popek, 33-22 Zebras. Returning to action here with 1:41 in the third quarter, 9:40 about to go in the game, and Metuchen's got their work paved out for them, but they have to get there.
Yeah, they certainly do, and they have a lot of time to go. They have a little over 9.5 minutes, but certainly down by 11, you got to spark something in your offense.
They know what they have to do. That's what I mean. It's a paved way. They just have to. They just have to drive on that paved road, because right now they know how to expose the defense. They know how to shut down the offense, except when they slow it down. When the offense slows down the game, Metuchen has trouble, as it's going to be Metuchen ball with 1:19 to go in the third quarter.
And this has been a very low-scoring game, actually. Metuchen only putting up 22. It's already been 3 quarters, so your offense has been a little slow today, but of course you got to get it going, and they know what they need to do.
They do know what they need to do. The question is, can they execute against a defense that's been really good, only holding Metuchen to 22 points. Pretty great numbers. And Metuchen holding them well, too, to 33. Here's Santos, little step back, try to do a James Harden move there, as Kuhn is right now guarded by Soriano. Cone, little step up, outside, over to Galligan. Galligan to Kuhn. Danny to Ben. Santos over to Cardillo. We barely have to say his name tonight. He's fouled, and he'll go to the line. That's foul number 7. Bonus land, Jared, and now Metuchen has to utilize this and try to get back into the game. That one was a shooting foul. He'll get 2 shots regardless. That, by the way, was the 4th foul on Christopher Udiaga. One of the 4 Christophers on New Brunswick. But, yeah, Cardillo will shoot 2, but from now on, fouls count as 1 shot. If you make the first, you get a second. Fortunately for Cardillo, he still earns a second. But once they get to 10 fouls, which are at 7 right now, 2 shots no matter what.
Yeah.
which is going to be probably achieved with a minute left in the third and 8 minutes afterwards. This is going to be, everything's going to change, I bet.
And it's very important. And we've seen most of the day so far that New Brunswick's really inciting the contact first. We'll see how that changes now that they're in the bonus. Metuchen may be starting the contact to see if they can get some fouls against New Brunswick.
Cardillo split the batch at the line, so it's still 33-23, his first points of tonight. Ooh, that's a nice play. Soriano took Kuhn head on and put it in. Nice shot there by Soriano. He took the contact and put it in. Here's Kuhn, little jumper of his own, no good. Ripped down by Cardillo, that's why you have him. The captain shoots it, no good. Rebounded by Diaz. 15 seconds. Moranta to his left. Dribbling lefty, puts it up. Over, Cardillo with a rebound. Over to Santos. Give me those points. Nice play by Santos with time running out in the third. 10-point game is where we'll sit to end the third quarter. Metuchen played a fine quarter, but lots of changes need to be made for the fourth.
Yeah, it definitely does. And Metuchen didn't play a bad quarter there. They actually recovered from some of their woes in the first half. I thought their ball security was a lot better. And now that you're in the bonus, it's certainly going to change the game going into the fourth quarter already 7 fouls. So Coach Cardillo, definitely something to work with here during the quarter timeout, and we'll see what he comes up with.
We'll step aside for now. 10-point game. Bulldogs trailing here on the Bulldog Report. Could be Metuchen ball with 7:58 to go in the game. Gotta score. Gotta start now. If you're trailing by 10, you have to assume that New Brunswick scores some points, obviously, in this quarter. Here's a deep three. Oh, it's money. Deep three by Galligan. What a shot. 7-point game.
And now that's a jump start to your offense. Great start to the quarter there from Metuchen. Let's see how they can build on this.
That's a shot from deep three, maybe not even drawn up by Einstein, but still smart in the sense that you could get momentum for your team. And that was like almost by the logo. We'll show you on replay in just a bit. Coming to the hoop is Adiari. He's got it. It's a 9-point game. Kuhn, we'll come back to that in a little bit. As you see, Adiari put it in. Here comes Kuhn. Is he fouled? Are they gonna say ball contact? They're gonna say hand contact. Let's take a look at the play. This is from Galligan from deep. Look at that. That's by the logo. Unbelievable. And he fired. Look how that student section just erupted with excitement. Really, really awesome there on the play by Galligan, keeping this a little bit closer. Here's Kuhn, the other Danny, who can't make the first. You gotta try to get every point you can, but misses the first. I'll bet you he hits the second the way he shoots. He hasn't missed 2 at the line this year. Did I just jinx him? I probably did. Oh, I didn't. No commentator's curse. No commentator's curse. Not yet. 8-point game. 7:08.
And New Brunswick again attacking here with this slow offense. In the lead, they've held it for a while now, and they're holding the ball really as long as you can. Let's see if... Oh, a backcourt violation against New Brunswick.
Was that backcourt? I'm not sure he did. I mean, maybe it was just in that part we can't see, but maybe Metuchen got away with one.
Yeah, that's a big momentum call there from Metuchen.
We'll shift over to that in a little bit also to see if that was actually a call, but now Metuchen has to capitalize. They can make this the slimmest lead since early third quarter if they score here. Santos little spin, gets his own rebound, puts it up, no foul, gets the rebound, loses it. It's going out, a sliding Galligan behind his back, can't get it. Oh man, Metuchen wanted to score there. Little floater up to their big 6'5" offensive piece in Adiari, and the clock will run down. They're going to try to play press defense on them. They're going to move the ball. What are they doing? Metuchen playing well on the defensive side of things for the first time in a little while. Ball pops out, almost a steal from Cohn. That would have been huge. From 3, deep 3, nowhere near. Keeps it, throws it off of Kuhn. What a heads-up play by Adiari. Let's take a look at that backcourt violation from just moments ago, or maybe backcourt violation. This is not live. Maybe his foot went over, but I don't know, man. I think Metuchen maybe got away with one. Nonetheless, though, they didn't capitalize on that drive, which obviously makes it not matter as much. Moranto for 3. They haven't made so many shots recently, but Metuchen's not really getting the rebounds they were. The production not so good, not as good as it was just a little while ago. Rebounding the ball with 6 minutes to go. I said Metuchen has to conduct their comeback before, but they're starting to cut into the lead. They still have a lot of work to go, as they still have 8 points to make up with 5:55 to go. It's doable, 100%, but they'd probably like to be in different situations than this one. Is that not backcourt? Maybe it was touched by Santos, which keeps it a healthy ball. From 3, one of these have to go in, right? Not that one. As it hit off of a New Brunswick player, I think it hit off a zebra. And when I say zebra, I don't mean the ref. I mean an actual New Brunswick zebra. I think it hit off of Hunter. Or, no, it hit off Thompson, because Hunter was on the bench, but he was standing as if it hit him. I don't know, man, but it's going to be a touch and ball. Huge, huge possession, along with really every possession from here on out for Metuchen.
And that was some football strength there displayed by Cody Cardillo. Sent him onto the chair.
Yeah, I didn't even see that until the replay. That's kind of funny. Yeah, this is pretty funny, the way that this is turning out for Metuchen. They have still to score, but imagine a three-pointer or something like that here. I mean, the amount of momentum that Metuchen would get. Galligan, it hit off of a player, I think it was Diaz, who swatted it. Now back to Galligan. Galligan tried to cook one over to Cardillo. It's swatted and taken by Udiaga and the rest of the New Brunswick team across the logo. They're going to try to slow this game down. And if Metuchen wants to play anyone inside of these final minutes, it's not New Brunswick, who's good at making this game and the clock just kind of wind down.
Yeah, certainly. And they're going to play some slow offense, but there's another steal, of course.
Yeah, a little sloppy, though, the way that they're doing it. And Kuhn gets the points to go and takes them back to their own half. Make it a 6-point game. Oh, man, we might have a good one. We might have a really good one here in the Bulldog Report. We haven't really had a good boys game in a while. We had a good one. It was a few weeks ago, actually. I did it by myself. That was a really good game. They won by a missed buzzer beater to end the game. But really, that's it. That's been the only close Metuchen boys game here that we've been able to call. Oh, offensive charging foul on Christopher Udiaga. Let's see how many fouls that is for him. He's had plenty tonight. That's 5. He's 1 away from fouling out of the game, and they're going to sub him out now. Unless it's 5 in high school. Is it 5 in high school? The rules are different for college. So the ref, yeah, they're gonna say, okay, so that's it for Udiaga. He's now fouled out. You will not see number 33 again today. We have not. The reason we don't know this rule is because it hasn't happened this year at all.
Yeah, nobody's fouled out so far, and now you're at 9 fouls.
Yeah.
So now you're 1 away from the bonus.
1 away
plus.
from the double bonus, and now the Metuchen fans, look at them, are on their feet. This is major here in the final home game of the season. Oh, Cohn got to catch that. Stolen up top. Up. No good, but to the foul line he'll go. That was Adiari with a nice steal after Cohn lost it. I bet he feels terrible about that, but also tough to have a short memory in sports. That's what they say.
Yeah, certainly. And not necessarily a smart foul by Ben Santos, but definitely a logical foul, because not great at the line, and those were almost automatic points, and there you go.
Not great at all. There's a miss, number 1. Metuchen would like for him to miss this. Keep it 2 possessions, but...
And you miss 1 free throw, in my book, that's a smart foul.
Yeah, of course, because he would have had the 2 either way. You're right. hits the second, but smart foul, as you said. Is it really smart, though? Because...
Yeah, now they're in the bonus.
Yeah, exactly. You finished my sentence. Here comes Kuhn. I don't even know what the call was.
I think it's a timeout.
Yeah, timeout. Okay,
Yeah.
so timeout by head coach James Cardillo. Metuchen Bulldogs trail by 7. It's a good one, though. Stay tuned. This one really set to be a good finish. Metuchen trails 38-31 here on the Bulldog Report. Okay, we're back here on the Bulldog Report. I think my mic was on. We're making bets on the final parts of this game. Our bet right now is it's gonna end a close one, but we'll see how it closes out because honestly, right now it's a close one. Metuchen trailing by 7. Santos with it. He moves to his left into open space over to Cone. Cone to Kuhn. Kuhn set up for 3. Didn't take it. Takes the 2 instead and takes the J and the points for Metuchen. Huge jumper is now a 5-point game. Metuchen cutting in.
Danny's had a great day today. Almost 10 points already. And Metuchen's cutting this lead. It's making it close. It's going to be a thriller.
Definitely going to be a third. You hear the defense chants? You probably can. It is loud as ever here in the MHS gym as it is a 5-point game for the first time since the second quarter. Really, really awesome start here to what should be potentially a nice comeback. Ooh, down goes Adiari, and it's a foul, which means shots at the line. If there's any person to foul, it's him. Adiari will be at the line 1-1. He makes the first, he'll earn a second. If he misses the first, Metuchen has the ball, and they could make it 1 possession for the first time since the first half. Unbelievable. But we'll see. Adiari at the stripe right now. You make this, even if you miss the second, it's better if you make the first because, excuse me, even if you miss the second, it's fine. I think you'll take 1 point here with a shooter like him. And he makes the first. Unless that was a shooting foul, he earns himself 2 shots anyways because the team wasn't ready to rebound. He made the first. This one to make it 2 possessions. Huge shot from Adiari. Every shot counts. Nailed it. Nailed it. And the Bulldogs back on offense. Now down 3 possessions. A little bit of a killer there, but they're still well in this game. Bouncer. Cone over to Santos. Offense has been a lot better than it's been all day here in the fourth quarter. The shot by Galligan won't count regardless. It's a miss. It's a foul against New Brunswick, which will send 2 shots to the line. This is the 10th foul. 2 shots for Santos.
And here we go. This is going to be very, very important. 3 minutes left. We might see a lot more fouls here as it goes down the stretch, and all these points get more and more important.
Come on, Ben. Come on, Ben. This is a major moment for him. Good thing he's not watching the stream and getting all this pressure because I'm being annoying and sending pressure his way. The first one is good. Fans erupt. You know it's a good game when a foul shot is being cheered in that way. So obviously back to 2 possessions. This one also big. Give him little luxury point. Here he nailed it. Both from the line are good. 5-point game, and Santos has gotten Metuchen back within 5. Huge, huge moment. And New Brunswick is well into this one, looking for a win. They're hunting for a win. Only would be their 5th of the year. Metuchen picked up their 5th win of the year in middle January. So.
And this is, of course, Metuchen's last game, or the boys at least, so After this one, it's goodbye from us in terms of basketball coverage.
Is there no more girls' games? We would have to check the
There is a
schedule.
girls' states game on
yeah.
Tuesday. There's a foul on Adiari.
It looked like he was on Metuchen, no?
Maybe on Metuchen.
Are they going to say... Let's see.
Let's go to the replay on this one, because it's right here.
You're not missing any action, I promise you. It's a whistle. We'll bring you back when we need to.
Right here.
Yeah. Yeah, look up at the top. It's... Oh, on Santos, I think maybe he pushed. I don't know even what the call is there. But
I don't understand that call, but obviously let the refs do their jobs.
Yeah. So here's the first shot for Adiari. It's just 1-1. He misses this. Metuchen needs to score. This would be a huge miss. Metuchen ready to rebound. They've got their big man underneath. Oh, he missed it. Pulled down by Santos. Game of inches as here they come. A 6-point game. Now, remember, double bonus. Foul them and they'll shoot 2 at the line. This is huge. You do not want to foul Metuchen. Here comes Santos. No foul on the offense. It's pulled down, ripped down by Adiari. As we said, focal point on this team. This would be a major win for the Bulldogs. Also a heartbreaker if they're able to if they end up losing this. But just being in this game is awesome here in front of all the fans. As I don't even know what they're gonna. I think they're gonna say that's a foul.
And
yeah,
here comes the bonus for New Brunswick.
Both ways, they're gonna say foul against Metuchen. 10-10 now in fouls. And we said earlier games would shake down to this. Fouls. Bonus.
And now that's 35 total fouls.
It's
in this
crazy.
game.
35 fouls. Yep. Lots of shots too, and a lot of them have been this guy right here, Adiari, who misses the first, and that's huge. If he misses this, still 2 possession, Bulldog ball. I don't know. Lots of things can change. This game could change the course like 5 times.
And 2 minutes in basketball is, of course, a lot of time.
Oh my goodness, he missed the second. It's going to be possession arrow pointed Bulldogs direction. Huge drive here. Do you call a timeout? You still have 4 if you're Metuchen. You really want to make sure you capitalize on all of your drives. I would call a timeout if I'm head coach.
I would too, and you can put the right personnel in. You can take some time to get your rest.
Okay, it was a foul against the Zebras. Against number 13, Kyle Hunter, who's off the bench in this one, and he fouled Cardillo on the rebounding scheme. A high arc, got it. Shoot it and mile into the air. Who cares? As long as it goes in, it counts. Make it a 5-point game. Cardillo to make it 4 from the line.
And now I think they're putting 2 big men out on the floor in Malamug and Santos to really level
and Cardillo
here.
Yeah, this is huge. So 4-point game. He hit both from the line. It could not be going any better in the last few minutes than for Metuchen. We said if they wanted to start a comeback, it had to start before. It has started, ladies and gentlemen. It has started. It's a 4-point game. And Metuchen is really threatening these Zebras right now with a chance to come back. Inbounded by Maranta. Imagine a Jai Dreher-esque dunk by like...
Yeah.
These games would... This is the type of game where he'd come up big in those moments. Maranta, little bouncer.
No, that's not a foul.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But whatever. Regardless, it's a foul. And how many darn times are you going to see him shoot at the line tonight? Adiari's just taken so many shots at the line. And he missed both last time he was at the trip.
And I think that Metuchen knows his ways in terms of free throw shooting. 4 for 56 coming into this game. Not sure what it is now. But he hasn't been great from the line so far.
Lucky bounce there. Very lucky bounce there.
And obviously every point is important there. That one just as crucial as the next.
Oh, he nailed both. He nailed both from the line. Make it a 6-point game. Metuchen looking to score here. They have to respond. Timeout called by the captain.
Rightfully so.
Good idea. Good idea. You have to use your timeouts wisely. They still have 3 to go. Yeah, and right now we'll take a break, though, unless you have something to say. No, neither do I. It'll all come down to these last few moments. We'll have plenty to say in the last minute 50 of game time. For now, we'll step aside. 6-point game. Bulldogs looking to come back. All right, here we go. Here we go. Just as excited as you guys are here in the booth. Want to see Metuchen try to pull this out. Here is Cone to his left, the lefty dribbler. Here's Galligan from 3. No good. Rebounded Malamug up and in. Was he fouled? They don't get that call. Metuchen would have wanted that. 2 fouls to go. 2 timeouts to go by New Brunswick. They might use one here. They won't. Antoine Allen saving them. Defense chant in the crowd right now.
And there's a timeout.
Was it a timeout?
No, it's a backcourt violation.
So, okay, here's what happened. Antoine Allen was trying to call timeout, but before there was a foul. No, a backcourt violation. That's right. So it's Metuchen's ball. Allen tried to call it just a second too late. So if you left this game, you are missing a great one. And Metuchen now can cut this to 1 possession for the first time since the first half, guys. Here's Cone. Cone over to his left, got the ball. 3-pointer here would be huge. He takes a jumper from 2. That one counts for 2, but in fact it counts for 0 as it's rebounded by New Brunswick and no good from the shot. Okay, now a minute 1 to go. Timeout offense. New Brunswick will talk things over. Zebras to the sideline.
No, it's a foul on Metuchen.
Now this is the times where you wish you had Henry Sia to tell you really what's going on, but we can't hear the calls down there. But they're saying it's a foul on Santos. He pushed him, and now he's 1 away from fouling out, guy. We just learned that 5 fouls you out. That's big.
And Cardillo actually also has 3 fouls. Not as important as the clock comes winding down, but now Coach Cardillo is going to talk things over.
That's good. This is like a free timeout, kind of, I guess. You got to put all 5 of your best players out there.
Yeah.
And they're all out there, even on senior night. You know, you have all your best players, and you're really focusing on trying to win this game. Actually, it's kind of like a full timeout, the way that they're both going to both sides. As the refs discuss with Antoine Allen, the head coach of the Zebras.
Being up here, very confusing. No idea what's going on right now. We think it's a foul being discussed.
Yeah.
Looks like, actually, number 4, Christopher Marauda, is hurt, being tended to by the trainer.
And he was the one that was fouled. He is hurt. He was the one that was fouled and was scheduled to take shots, but now checked into the game for him is Jaylene Soriano for his first chances from the line in a little while, but he's been good. 3 for 4 from the stripe tonight, and no bigger time than now. Oh, he missed it. Huge, huge, huge.
And student section's getting on their feet here. They're getting loud. We could hear them from here.
This is awesome. Awesome way to finish. Even if you end up losing this, it's a great way to end the season. Just being in a close game like this, no matter what, I'd say this was a good day for the Dogs. First shot from Soriano, no good. Second shot, also no good. Doesn't matter, though, as New Brunswick gets the rebound. Oh, my goodness. Metuchen had the chance to get their offense going.
And now a timeout.
Oh, man. That's a bummer for Metuchen. Rebound didn't go their way. You put your big guys down there, there's nothing else you can do. They can't get it. That's basketball. That's sports. For now, though, we'll step aside after a full timeout by the head coach, Antoine Allen, for the Zebras, and the Bulldogs and Zebras will talk things over. See who wins the battle of senior night tonight. 4-point game. New Brunswick only has 1 timeout left. Metuchen, all 3 that they want. So that's huge. 3 timeouts versus 1 is huge, especially when you're losing. You want to have timeouts able to stop the clock, obviously, and draw up plays in order to come back late in the game. Jared, this is really fun. This is a good one to call here. obviously, in a close game like this, we haven't been able to call games like these, like close ones like these in a while, obviously. I did one, but it was by myself, so I'm like screaming in a room by myself. It's not as fun as being here with you, obviously.
Another timeout.
See, that's how you know. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, this is the biggest defensive possession here for Metuchen, probably in this game, and New Brunswick obviously needs a play to sort of get out of this. They know Metuchen's going to be aggressive because, frankly, if you get the points, it's going to start to become out of reach for Metuchen. It's going to be a 6, give it 7-point lead. And obviously, if you come right back down the floor without any points, and it's a 4-point game on your end of the floor, Coach Cardillo can call a timeout, drop a play. Who knows?
Who knows is the story of this game. They fouled the guy they wanted him to foul, as obviously an intentional foul by Galligan.
And that's a smart foul, of course.
Yeah, but
they know he's not good from the line, and they know.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't been good today, but for them to give him the ball, I think they might just say we want our best shooter to have it because they're going to foul him intentionally. So maybe he is better than he has appeared at the line tonight. Obviously, he misses the first, and they haven't been good from the line the last few minutes. They've been great all game, and something's changed. I think it's the pressure.
Yeah. Obviously a packed house here tonight, filling up actually the away student section as well with Metuchen fans.
And a lot of New Brunswick fans, too. We saw that even in the JV game. You see them cheering there. Okay, 4-point game. Cone with it. Still very, very tight. Excuse me, 5-point game. Cone out to Santa. Someone needs to be a hero. Is it Galligan to make it a 2-point game? No, but it's going to be Metuchen ball. The refs support that claim with 42 seconds. Obviously, you want to focus on getting points, but you also want to focus on getting them quickly, and you need shots like those, similar to those, to start to go in.
And here comes Marcus Malamug. If you're Coach Cardillo here, do you consider taking a timeout to drop a play?
I'm not sure. We'll see. They don't go that way. It goes to Galligan to the hoop.
Oof.
No good. Pulled down by who else? Adiari. Is this one almost over?
Another
Potentially.
foul.
Yeah, foul, obviously. Everything sends bonus shots. See, the way that fouls have played a part in this one have just been unbelievable, obviously. And that's 33, Cody Cardillo's 4th foul. He's 1 away from fouling out, along with Ben Santis. Can't lose them because they're both your big men. But only 34.6 seconds of game time remain.
And of course you want them both on the floor. If one of them fouls out, not that much time left. Of course, if Metuchen manages to tie it up, which it would be insane, going into overtime without them would be killer.
Of course. But that's a big reach. I mean, it's a 6-point game. This would make it a 3-possession game if he hits this huge shot.
And he makes it.
And he makes it. 3 possessions. You don't even need 3. You need a 2 here. If you're Metuchen, make it 2-point game again, and Cone will be sent to the line. He was fouled. Almost guaranteed to be back into 2-possession game, assuming he probably can hit at least one of these. Obviously, nothing is a guarantee.
I wouldn't have even said that, given the commentator's curse.
Yeah, maybe we just messed with either your grandson or your friends or your son's odds at making any shots here. But he makes the
Never
first.
Mind,
okay,
yeah.
so I've been good about the commentator's curse. I have not been involved. Cassani and Kuhn come in, maybe subbing out Cardillo. I don't know why. Maybe I don't think it's foul trouble.
I think they want their shooters out there. That's what they're doing.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
They have every single shooter out there, even the big man shooter like Santis. 2-possession game once more, 5-point game. Oh, does he have time to inbound it? He chucks up an airmail, Aaron Rodgers style, which goes to his teammate, also Aaron Rodgers style.
And he's headed to the line for 2 again.
Yeah, Christopher Diaz back to the line. We have not seen him at the line tonight. One of the 4 New Brunswick Christophers at the line.
Yeah.
Sorry, I get a kick out of that. I don't know why. I was on a Little League team with 6 Ryans once. Not that you care at all with 24.3 seconds left in this game. We'll step aside for now. Metuchen looking to fight back and try to crawl back here on the Bulldog Report. Here we go. Ready to go with 25 seconds left in this one. 24.3, and obviously that's a big correction with this little time. 0.7 seconds means the world. Ooh, missed first by Christopher Diaz.
And that's big, because now you can only make it a 2-possession game, not even 3.
Malamug and Cardillo set to rebound, and they have to rebound. This is huge. Oh, he hit the second. Still 2 possession. Still 2 possession. Clock stops at under 25 to go. Malamug. Cone. Here he comes. Jumper. Was he fouled? Was there contact on the way up? Metuchen pretty much needs to recover. It's staying Metuchen. I didn't think it hit off of Metuchenite, but it did. I don't know, but it's going to stay Metuchen. We don't even have time to show you the replay as they're going to quickly inbound. Yeah, it's going to stay Metuchen. They get another chance. Give it to your senior Cone. Oh, Galligan dribbled it. It hit out of bounds. Man, that's just the worst. It's not even even his fault. That's just bad luck at this point. They're making all sorts of subs, and obviously with limited time, they're making them quickly. Try to get them off before New Brunswick inbounds. New Brunswick looking like they're going to pull out a win if they're not fouled very quickly. Oh, struggling to inbound the ball. Is that 5 seconds?
Yep, that's a violation.
No,
there.
timeout. Timeout by Allen. Uses his final timeout wisely, very wisely.
Yeah.
Antoine Allen calls timeout. And now they have the chance to finalize this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of 5-second violation. Galligan was screaming, 5 seconds, 5 seconds, but didn't matter.
And now, literally and figuratively, the ball's in your court. Although Metuchen's going full court press.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, thanks. But the difference is they get a pass off an airmail like they did the last possession, and they have open court down the field to seal this one here.
I wish we could show you, but I don't want to like miss any of the game. But Antoine Allen was literally jumping up and down so that the ref would hear him calling timeout. We're looking at it right now. He was like, dude, call a timeout. We need to get this. Because really, I mean, what it comes down to is that could have given Metuchen another chance at this game. In fact, a great chance at this game because they would have the ball in the opposing end, only down by 2 possessions, obviously. Yeah. Lots of time. Lots of time is 14 seconds. And if you're new to college or high school basketball, obviously, you might not know that, but I mean, there's been some miracles. I was at the Ron Harper three-pointer buzzer beater game against #1 Purdue. Probably the best athletic game I've ever seen, and there's some similarities in this one. Obviously, Rutgers was down late and pretty by a good amount. All right, let's talk Metuchen. Got to get rid of this ball. Floats it up. Almost an interception. In fact, almost.
That's Metuchen.
It is Metuchen I think for sure.
They don't know.
Refs don't know. Bulldogs ball. Santos broke it up. He wasn't able to recover it. It swatted off of a zebra. That sounds so weird. It sounds so weird to say a zebra like that because it's like more normal when you say a lion or whatever the mascot is. Whatever. It's Cone looking at his options. All shooters, by the way, like you said. Besides like Cardillo, they're running a play. They have to run one quickly. Out of bounds. Another like 8 seconds off the clock. 0.9 seconds or so off the clock. And it's going to, I think, stay Metuchen on the ball, but the refs obviously in a close game like this have to discuss.
And I don't think a single student has left the bleachers yet, so still hope here for Metuchen. 12.8 seconds, actually they just put a second back on the clock there from that bouncer. But an important inbound here from New Brunswick.
It's New Brunswick ball. Float it up, just get it away from your own hoop. But the clock doesn't start until you get the ball. They finally start, and a foul. Oh, man.
And as you can see, the value of time, that only took 3.2 seconds off the clock, so still a lot of time.
Well, obviously, because once Metuchen's going to actually start rolling the ball if they do it well. And if you're new to this, rolling the ball, so the clock doesn't start until you pick up the ball. The ball is in your hands. That's when it starts. So when you're inbounding, rolling the ball to your point guard or your shooting guard, or whoever's taking the ball up, will obviously the clock won't start, and you'll be able to take the ball across. if you're running a press defense, which the Zebras might, obviously rolling the ball is tough. 8 seconds, still 3 possessions. Metuchen, chances running down. Cone from deep 3.
Wow.
It's good. It's never say die from Max Cone and the Bulldogs, but...
And a timeout here from Coach Cardillo.
Yeah, this would take a miracle, though, I think. I hate to burst the bubble.
Miracle at Metuchen, possibly? We'll see. I'm just waiting for you to tell me that's cringy.
That was pretty cringy.
Yeah,
But,
there it is.
but, I mean... I don't know. There's been some dumber things said tonight. The
Yeah.
6 Ryan's comment. But that was... I mean, you have to admit, that's pretty... What are the odds on that?
I mean...
That was it. Okay,
this
let's talk
game-
basketball. Max Cone just took that shot. That's the furthest three-pointer I think we've seen him hit all year, or any Bulldog hit all year. This is a full timeout, so we have time to show you. We're going to show you in just a second if we're able to get it off in time. Our tech crew a little bit slow today. But yeah, this was it. Look at this. From the L, from the second L at the Bulldogs line.
And they might put some time back on the clock, actually.
You think so?
Yeah,
Well, they don't have instant replay, so they can't do that.
unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, they do have us, so if they wanted to turn to us, we're more than welcome.
Yep.
We could say, okay, should add 2 minutes to the clock, because honestly, I would take it. I would take this more of this basketball
I would take
any
another
day.
quarter of basketball like this.
And do you remember when we said to you earlier on in the game, every point counts? This is why. This is why. This is exactly why.
Foul,
One of those
yep.
useless foul shots in like the second quarter, which you're
Yeah.
like, it doesn't matter, he missed it. Well, it would have been the difference between a 1-possession and 2-possession game right now. So every point counts in games like these, as you're seeing a shot at the line now by Diaz. Still 2 possessions. It would definitely take a miracle for Metuchen to successfully come back. But my eyes are open. All the Metuchen fans are too, as they're all waiting to see something happen. And this one made. Does he hit the second 5-point game?
The
I think you
difficulty-
might want to see him hit this one because it
Yeah.
leaves the clock stopped. Although Metuchen does have a timeout. Good. Okay.
Okay.
I honestly am okay with seeing that. Why not
Oh.
roll the ball? Why not roll that ball?
And that's it. Yep.
Should have rolled it. I'm not kidding. Like, that sounds stupid, but they could have saved. I don't know if they would have gotten off in
Yeah,
time, but
who knows?
you know what? It is what it is. But Metuchen played their hearts out, Jared, tonight.
Yeah, that was a great showing for senior night. Obviously, I know they lost, but that was some of the most fun basketball we've seen in the past season for any Metuchen basketball.
Heartbreaker. And if you're a senior, just want to let you know, you had a great career. Every single senior here had a great, great career. They played a good game, too, today. Obviously not the result you wanted, but hey, you know, you play a good game, and that's all you can do, really. That's all you can control against a big school. Play your hearts out in front of the whole fan section that you had today, and hope for the best in future games like these. But for now, we will step aside, or actually turn away from tonight's game. Final score in this one, 50-44. Bulldogs played their hearts out, but couldn't get it done, Jared.
And actually, being the last boys game, if you're a boys follower of the Bulldog Report, so long for the season. Until next time.
Yeah, until next time is right. Huge shout out to Mr. Cathcart, Mr. Porowski, Ben Salaski, Chris DeVizio, so many more. I can't even think of them. Bruce Paragallo, my dad, Jonathan Bush, Cassidy Connors, Henry Sia, and many more. If you're saying goodbye to Bulldog basketball, if you want the full crew, here you go. Everyone listed there. I'm not even going to read the names. I've done it so many times here. But yeah, that's it. Bulldogs lose this one, a close one, and played their hearts out. That's all you can ask for. That'll do it, though, here on the Bulldog Report. Metuchen Bulldogs fall to New Brunswick in a fighter to the end. For Jared Popek and myself, Ben Salaski, and more, I am Ike Bush, and this was the Bulldog Report. See you next time.